Hello, and well, for fuck's sake, look at the state of it. And welcome to episode 2 of season 2. Week
Football's
one
back, baby!
We've just obviously got the small game of Raiders and Ravens this evening, which I'm sure Matt's thrilled and optimistic about. So, as per usual, we will probably just chat nonsense for the next hour. We're back to normality. No doubt I'll be ranting because the Giants have lost once again. So it's the theme of this pod.
That's what's normal.
But yeah, it was great to have football back for all of 2 minutes, and then it just became that chore of watching shite again. So I suppose we may as well start with Jamie. You getting the good stuff out of the way?
Shall we do it? Shall we do the first one of the year? Are you ready for it? Okay. Let me just grab this quickly. Sorry, guys. So, I mean, let's start with a prediction first. I'll start with a prediction. I did say we'll smash them. We didn't smash them, unfortunately. We didn't smash them. We just won. It was very close. It was closer than what we expected. Dak Prescott looked very, very good coming back into it. He is the passing leader so far in terms of yards in all of football. Obviously, until Lamar tonight. But I mean, it was a very good game to watch. It was getting scary in that fourth quarter.
How did you make an advert for a new producer?
Gumtree. Is that still a thing? Is Gumtree still a thing? Yeah, and then Brady, I said, would get 5 touchdowns. He got 4, almost got the 5th, but unfortunately, Chris Godwin dropped it at the 1. I bet he wanted to drown in water at that point. It was just awful. But who did get 2 touchdowns? That man right there, Gronk. And you know what he did? Yes! There it is, the first one of the year. No, wait, sorry. He got 2. I don't even know where the ball's gone now. I spiked it that hard. Gronk got 2, baby. So it was a very good game. I mean, staying up till 5 a.m. on the Thursday/Friday wasn't fun, but we got the win. That's what football's about. We've got the 9 o'clock game next week, so let's enjoy Sunday finally properly. I just got into Sunday, just absolutely enjoying watching everybody else. So didn't have to worry. But we won. We kicked off football. 1-0.
Oh God, I wish I could say that.
Only saving grace is we haven't lost yet.
Yeah. You know, the Giants have won one of their last 11 opening games.
Blimey.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the Giants have only had one game where DJ hasn't fumbled.
Do you know what? I would be very interested to know if we haven't had a game where he's had a turnover. Yeah, so we lost, which was obviously fantastic. It's just normal. I think the disappointing thing was we played that game not to lose rather than to win, and Broncos played to win. They were very aggressive, really good. Can't fault them. Pat Sherman must be laughing his tits off because we fired him and he's gone to them as an offensive coach, and he played so well against us. They made us look average. Made our defense, which was top 9 last season, look really, really poor. Teddy Bridgewater was good. I said I was concerned that he was starting over Drew Lock, but yeah, he every credit to him. He was solid. He extended plays. We hardly sacked him, and the ones we did, he was in the line of pocket. The ones where he was extending, he was just brilliant, and he won the game for them. To be fair, a couple of big momentum plays, but the one which we're obviously going to talk about is the Big Apple turnover. It's just, I don't know. You'll probably never hear me slag off DJ because, I've got to love him, but it is getting to that point now where you sit there and you think, like, we were 17-7 down, and he's taken us on a drive from pretty much our 20 to their red zone, and you're thinking, like, right, happy days. He's doing everything right. He's using the ball well. He's moving pass protection where it needs to be. He's obviously reading what he needs to. Look really good. takes a snap. Matt Peart and Nate Solder, Jesus, whoever it was at right tackle, I imagine Matt Peart at that time. The pressure's come, and for once, he's felt the pressure. That's what we've been asking DJ to do is get a bit more pocket presence to understand that he's felt it. He's shifted away from it. He's then realised there's nothing on, but there's a gap for him to run. He's used his legs. He's beat two, which is brilliant. Again, what we want every time. Gets to the first down line. Don't know why he doesn't slide. He decides to take a Superman dive, and what happens? He gets it and fumbles the ball. Just time and time again. It's like, up until that point, it's just all the intelligence you want, and then he just goes brain fart again, and it just.
He's a very special talent.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and I don't know when the announcement going to come about. Was looking at replacing him, because everyone says make or break, and I just can't see that stopping. I think that was 40 turnovers in 28 starts. That's a lot. That isn't it? That is a lot. And don't get me wrong, I've come up with all the excuses for him, and there still is excuses out there. The schemes just stinks. The O-line is horrendous. Jamie, did you load that image up that I sent you?
I didn't, unfortunately.
There's a picture on Twitter, if you look at my likes, that Matt Peart, it looks like he's got his assignment in front of him, but off screen it looks like right, and he looks like Von Miller, future defensive player of the year, as basically looks like he's come off the corner, he's beaten by that much. Actually, what's happened is the ball snapped. Matt Peart, I haven't even realised. Yeah, look, like he literally, number 74, didn't have a clue the ball had been snapped, and look how far Von Miller's passed him. It was just so bad. And I can sit there and make these excuses, but then you want your quarterback to do well, and up until that point, he's doing everything you want him to do, and he just does that. Like, it's going to be hard to keep defending him when he's doing that. And I'm not defending him. That was an absolute shite show. Just slide. But other than that, I don't know what else. Like, we targeted Golladay once in the first half. Once. This is our wide receiver who we're paying $17 million a year for, big free agent signing, and we're targeting him once in the first half. I don't get it. And then second half, we targeted him 5 times, caught all 5, big contested 50-50 catches, doing really well. But it's in garbage time, and the game's already lost. The same as our last 6 points we scored. DJ got a rushing touchdown, garbage time. It was irrelevant. It never mattered. We've scored in 2 seasons. Well, it's obviously going into our second season now with Jason Garrett. We've scored over 20 points less than 5 times, less than a handful. So DJ is this turnover machine, but at least under Pat Shermer, we were scoring, and he was balling out in regards to stats. He was doing well in regards to making exciting plays, making big explosive chunks. But under Garrett, he's just so conservative. Like, big momentum change yesterday in the game was we were 7-3 up. They got their drive and were in our end zone and in our red zone. And Logan Ryan forced a fumble and recovery on the 3-yard line. Brilliant, happy days. Let's put something together. The 3 plays Jason Garrett called was, first was a run inside, no gain, great, brilliant. Second was a quick out pass to Booker, dropped, brilliant. Third, quick out pass to Kyle Rudolph, 1-yard gain. Punted it back to them. They got it on the halfway line with, just before half time. They go and score, and then they get the ball ready for the second half. Like, that was a problem. It was just conservative, and it always is. And we drafted Kadarius Toney, and there was always talk about, we're going to work the scheme out around him. He's a gadget player. 2 plays, 2 snaps. 2 snaps. One was a tackle for loss because they used him as a running back, and the other, he wasn't involved in a play. It was just a snap, and then he got 3 snaps at the end again in garbage time, but no plays. There's a real worry there, and it comes down to also, so you can sit there and blame it on Jason Garrett, but you've got to look at Joe Judge as well. There, like, you are the head coach. If you're extending second season, if you're taking it into that second season, you're admitting to being all right with how he's playing. So either they don't believe in the O-line and quarterback, which is probably more than likely, and you're saying all the things that you're saying to the media about, he's our quarterback, our guys on the O-line, that, we believe in them as much as you don't, or you're completely incompetent, and, you've missed out on a chance to... We traded back when Justin Fields was there. I didn't want it, obviously, because I want to believe in DJ, but this year's class and what people are saying on Twitter isn't as good as the year we've just drafted. We're going to be in a real point where we're going to go, probably are going to have to move on from DJ at the end this year if it continues. So we're just in this perpetual motion of just shite. I know Ben said there, like Joe Judge throwing the red flag on a reviewed play. That was stupid. I think the more annoying thing was he's come out at the end and gone, of course I know the rules, I've just done it because I wanted to vent at the refs. You dickhead. Like, you've cost the
time. You just wasted a timeout.
For someone that professes to be, so high on discipline and making all these people run laps and stuff like that when they do something wrong, that's just a dickhead move. And Twitter is obviously a toxic place. We all know that. And it was hilarious, like watching the absolute outcry and meltdown of Giants fans yesterday, and it made the loss a bit easier. But yeah, it's just shy, and then it just means you're going into this next game now against the divisional rival on Thursday needing a win. Fortunately, Fitzmagic's injured, which is horrible to say because I'm a fan of Fitzmagic. But I think what worries me more is how many times I slagged Heineken off on this pod. And now he's going to be QB for Washington.
He's only played one game and you slagged him off so much.
Yeah, so...
and he played well.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He lost the game. He didn't play well at all. Fuck off. He did a job. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting to see how we get on. Our defense didn't look good. We had 2-man corners playing a lot of zone, and we were shown for it. Bradbury allowed 6 receptions on 7 attempts, so that's not Bradbury at all. But they scheme well to him, so people will be watching that and probably do similar. So yeah, worried, could be in for a season of shite as expected, but the only way is up, I suppose, for loss.
It's hard as well, isn't it? Because you obviously love DJ, but he's just shit. And unfortunately, you have to stick by your man. But I just want to throw this out here. DJ, in his whole career, 2019 he joined the league? So this is his 19-20, his third year? He's thrown 35 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. I know, obviously, again, fair enough. So that's in all of his 3 years. Kirk Cousins threw 35 touchdowns last year alone.
Yeah, it's in all of his 2 years, but I'm still not.
Kirk Cousins, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Brady, Wilson, Rodgers. Jameis Winston threw 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in one season.
It's painful. It really is. Like I say, if you look at DJ's first season, how many did he throw in his first season?
Oh, now you're making me look. All right, let's have a look. Let me double check on here. Daniel Jones, career statistics in 2019, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
It says it all,
his second year, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
It says it all, doesn't it? It says it all. 24 touchdowns in your first year. Take that. Yes, has to get rid of the turnovers, has to. But then you go into a scheme where last year you throw 11.
Don't forget, that's just interceptions. That's not fumbles. He had 18 fumbles that season. He had less last season. We'll give him that. But 18 fumbles and 12 interceptions, making a total of 30 nearly turnovers. So
it's difficult to take any positives from the game. But if I was to mention any, Andrew Thomas played well at left tackle, which was good to see. Saquon got through the game unhurt, thank God. Wasn't effective, had limited stats. I think he had something like 10 or 12 rushes for about 26 yards. Nothing. But he looked a bit worried about bouncing out to the outside. There was a couple of times where there was an avenue on the outside, which is you'd expect Saquon to gobble up, and he cut back up the middle where all protection was. So he's probably a bit rusty and still a bit scared. He's not had any practices where he's been taking big hits or any game time. So hopefully that changes. And Sterling Shepherd looked good. I think he had 97 yards, might have even crept over 100 at the end. Bit gutted that he didn't get a second touchdown because then they had him to score 2 for 22-1. But it is what it is. There wasn't many positives to take. They've got to go back
next week. Hopefully next week, mate, you'll be bemming from here to here. So
yeah, more positive. Yeah. Well, look, Jason Garrett can fuck off and get in the sea for all I care. Because I'm a hater, an absolute hater. Ketchup head, as someone called him on Twitter, which I loved.
Ketchup head.
Yeah.
Original. Nice.
Well, obviously, we haven't got your rant or stemming from here to your statement.
No.
As of the time of recording at this moment in time, we are at 7:16, which means we are 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are 6 hours away from the Raiders versus the Ravens to finish week 1. How do you feel?
I don't really know, to be honest. The Ravens have had some pretty heavy injuries in the last week or so. Well, the last few weeks, to be honest. And they had basically no running back. They've brought in Latavius Murray, who's a former Raider. I'm a bit of a fan of his. So that'll be interesting. Don't like it when former players play against you. It's just annoying, isn't it? But Lamar's
Bell as well. They've brought in Le'Veon Bell as well.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know actually.
Baltimore. You signed him last week.
So, it's just Lamar Jackson's really, really, really good. He does like to do it all on his own. He's probably going to have to do a lot of it on his own. But the positives for us is we've got a fairly new D. Gus Bradley's brought his men in. We look much better. We couldn't have looked much worse, but we look much better on that side of the ball. But at what expense is that? We've got a relatively new O-line with Leatherwood and stuff. And we just before we came on live, we didn't know whether Jacobs was going to be playing over. We still know it's going to be a last minute decision, which is weird because he did some sort of meet and greet on Saturday with some fans, and then the next day he's ill. Bizarre. Not quite sure what to make of that. I don't know. I still expect us to probably just lose, but I will be pissed off if we lose naturally. If staying up late to watch the game, I end up drowning myself in the sea or something. Who knows? But it's going to be a difficult day tomorrow, being tired if we lose, dealing with work and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to watch the game. A bit like you, Jamie, I could kind of watch the game last night and not really care. It's sort of more enjoyable to watch Red Zone when you're not really asked about any of the teams. Shame the Browns' arse fell out. They bottled it.
No, it's not.
But it is because it was the Chiefs. I don't like Baker anyway, but I would have liked to have seen the Chiefs lose. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs, aren't they? It was in Kansas as well, so that would have been a massive result for the NFL, really.
Didn't you beat them in Kansas last year?
Yep. That's all I've got from last season. I'm still dying out on it. But yeah, it's. I don't know. I'm apprehensive is probably the best word. That's a difficult one to spell for all you people who don't use spell check. So yeah. That's it. That's all I've got. I mean, I'm trying to be a bit cagey with it because I don't want to say too much and look like a knob next week when I'm like, are you ever going to win? Because I do feel like we are going to win. But
the best thing is next week you're going to have to review 2 games because you do have a short week and you're playing Sunday against the Steelers, so you're going to have to do 2 reviews next week.
Against Steelers.
Against Steelers. So yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting. We won't go on to next week. I think we need to review the other games, maybe.
Yeah. Well, let's have beer of the week. Has anyone got any Speckers or snacks? I've got some snacks that not popcorn.
Maybe you'll post stickers in group chats.
I was about to come on to that.
You literally just broke.
Killed me off. Is that Preston Jack?
I think that's Jack. Panthers Jack. Yeah, it will be.
Oh, my Lord.
It's Nobber Jack, isn't it?
God.
I was about to come on to the sticker nonsense, but I had a little bit for them.
Panicking now. I'm gonna lose my job.
So I'll tell you what, I'll talk about that actually because it was quite funny. We got some new members to the group. We got some new members to the group chat on Friday. Threw it out on Twitter and I probably had about 10 people maybe. It's quite a lot. And it's like anything, you get good people, you get bad people. But there was and I hope they are watching. There was 3 or 4 blokes who were just fucking knobs, absolute fucking knobs. And all they kept doing was posting little stickers in. I think it was funny. One of them said he'd do something to my sister, and someone else said my sister was dead. So yeah, I can't remember your names, but you're a bunch of pricks.
They were weird. They were proper weird.
So as much as we say anyone can come in the group chat, they weren't right for the group, so they very quickly got the boot because a couple of originals left the group. I think JP and Chris and Mark left the group, didn't they? That was what we were dealing with on Friday night. It kept me entertained for a little while, but they're basically just a bunch of nonsense. I think we called it U-Tree Friday, didn't we? JP. But yeah, so it wasn't the fact that somebody said my sister was dead. It's what he said he'd do to my sister when she'd said that. Fucking knob. CBA fight me. So
back to beer of the week
next week when we're not on air. Yeah, I'll go first. Since I'll have my little moment there. I'm on Hop House Lager today.
You can't do that. It's illegal.
What?
I don't know.
Not? Yeah, Hop House Lager in the trusty 3rd and short glass, which you can't see because we had our dishwasher moment last week, didn't we? We've also got some snacks as well. I'm rocking some, as I said, not popcorn, but peanuts this week, and I've also got Reese's White Cups. Now, not that I'm looking for sponsorship, but if you're out there, Reese, get in
Reese
touch.
Schofield.
Well, any Reese wants to provide me with these little items of delight, I will happily take that on and pipe them off every week on live on the show.
Tom.
Call me a Reese nonce if you want, not asked.
So, Tom, are you trying to get sponsorship this year? What are you doing?
At the moment, no. My effort needs to go into hating Jason Garrett, the ketchup head. So I'm just on. I got some beer and Moretti for my birthday, and I don't drink much. Well, it's a weird one. I don't drink much at home. When I go out, I binge. So I don't tend to drink much at home, apart from obviously when I'm on the pod. So if someone gets me like 8 or 10 beers, they can last almost a season. So I'm on beer and Moretti again. I'm on one of the, is it Elm Bank laser glasses, whatever they were.
Yeah,
it is.
This one held up quite well, to be fair. Absolute shit logo of a wank team. Probably the only thing these have held up well in the past sort of 10 years. But yeah, beer and Moretti.
Cool. I'm on Pepsi Max Cherry, guys. Sorry, guys. No alcohol this week. The beer
the only one that won.
Yeah, I'm busy at 8, so I have to not drink, unfortunately, for now.
Jordan. Yeah, can we talk about that?
But I do have some treats. Poppets, toffee, not poppers. Although if they want to sponsor me as well, I'll take it, I guess. So poppers or poppets, if you're out there, give me some
poppets.
Some
poppets.
So do I. Free for £1 from basically any shop ever. So yeah, that is me to this evening.
I ain't got any snacks. Wounded. Because I'm on a diet again.
He doesn't drink and he's on a diet.
I'm too busy laughing at Baker Mayfield put stickers in group chat.
That's proper rinsed me off. I was done for a bit after that.
For a Preston fan, He's all right.
I just wanted to touch, whilst Geordie's obviously active in the chat, I just wanted to make sure. Quite a while ago, we did our fantasy draft, and pretty sure he put a prediction in the group somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't find it, otherwise I would have already been on this. But Jordan and I played each other week 1, and he was very confident about beating me based on projected stats. The little analytical loser. Just to be clear, Patrick Queen is not going to get 20 points tonight, so I'll take that week 1 victory. Thank you very much.
Could you imagine? Tomorrow? He's got this on video now.
Talking of the fantasy, we all know I wasn't there for the draft. It just went on auto, and I don't even know my team. I've not really tinkered with it much. I still beat Gary. I'm still 25 points ahead of him with 2 players playing tonight, and he hasn't got any.
And did you have Antonio Brown on the bench?
And I benched Antonio Brown. And I still beat you, Gary.
And I beat Kieran. I don't think anything that we can say would be able to go on Spotify. So
probably bet you glass, Jordan.
Find it and I'll pay up. There you go. Well, we will find it, Jordan, and we'll let you know.
I'll give you that. I don't think we had a bet.
Just pride.
Yeah, you are the expert out of us, but I skilled you.
There you go. I mean, so let's talk about week 1 then. Do you have any standout moments, players, games? Tom,
There's a few,
who are you going for? Who is your standout player of the week?
I'm stuck between 2, both from the same game. So I wrote down Murray. Because he had 4 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. He played really well and led the Cardinals to a victory that probably didn't expect. But I'd probably go with Chandler Jones in that one with 5 sacks, which is just outrageous. Yeah. Like Mark said, he was up against, was a Pro Bowl left tackle. Doesn't normally let 5 sacks in a season, and he just absolutely destroyed him. He got paid this season, I think, Chandler Jones, didn't he, this offseason?
I had a quick look at his stats. Since he's been at Arizona, he's actually been really, really decent. He's always been in around the teens for sacks on a year, which is always good to be at. But yeah, he's 5 in a game. Last person I think did that was Khalil Mack against the Denver Broncos for us. So that's how long ago we're talking.
It's massive, and to be fair, that's a great boost up, but he's still not going to come near Von Miller, is he? Defensive Player of the Year, so let's have it. He was at Gary. Well, you should have started it, Gary. You should have looked, shouldn't you?
Debo and Hockenson on the bench, Rodgers and Adams starting. Obviously, I mean, that Green Bay game was absolutely beautiful. And I think that moves on nicely to my player of the week. There was only one man it could have been. He ate the dub. Did you see him eat the dub afterwards as well? See you, Tom. Loved it. Tom's gone. He's had enough. Jameis Winston. Jameis freaking Winston. I mean, what a guy. Love him so much.
I didn't want to come back, if I'm honest.
JB did it. Everybody's saying, I mean, I'm maybe, like I just ate that dub, I'll eat my words later. But Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, he didn't even throw over 200 yards. That's just how bad the Green Bay were. They went for like a 4th and like 7 in their own like 30. It's like, what are you even doing? You don't even care. Rodgers is tanking. He loves it. And I think the best thing I saw on Twitter was from ourselves. And I'll give a shout out to Gary and basically said it was the only thing that he successfully threw all game was that game. So, yeah.
His passer rating was lower than if he had just thrown the ball at the floor.
Love it.
I also don't get how that's worked out.
Because he interceptions.
Right.
Yeah.
So if he throws the ball at the floor, it's not getting intercepted.
Yeah. That's terrible, isn't it? DJ's better than Rodgers. Done.
Shut up. I mean, maybe this game week, yeah, but...
You didn't let me finish. I said in week 1.
In week 1, yeah, I mean... unfortunately, we can't debate it, but that means...
though, isn't it? Did either of you see much of it? Like, did he look like he gave a fuck or...
Didn't care.
I watched most of the game.
I hate that prick so much.
Wasn't asked. It's because he's got hair like bones now.
Just don't care. But I mean, it was close. I mean, if obviously Winston didn't get his 5, it probably would have been for the man who scored 2 touchdowns, and here comes the second one. It's Gronk. There you go. I found it. There you go. Gronk maybe would have got it. I mean, coming off the Super Bowl, getting another 2 touchdowns and doing it for the boys. The worst part is about that game, by the way, I think I was talking to Gary at the time, was I had Gronk first touchdown. He got the second and the third touchdown.
Good.
Which would have obviously won me 130, 140 quid with Gronk with the first touchdown.
Such a shame.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Dan Jumbles. Dan Jumbles.
And now
Jameis Winston threw 5 touchdowns. And on his projected stats on ESPN, he's projected to throw 80 touchdowns this year.
I saw that Chandler Jones is apparently projected to be something like 108.5 sacks based on
ESPN projected stats so weird. I think it just goes, yeah, if he does this every game, this is what he's going to get. I mean, could you imagine 80 touchdowns? I think the record's 55. I don't think he's even that.
Talking of Green Bay, I was out with a friend of the show. Somebody Tom is a real big fan of on Saturday. Matt Brown, where's the sign gone, Tom? We've not had the sign this season.
He's just not worthy of any publicity. I'm sick of him. The thing is with him, he goes missing. He gets a bird and he goes missing, right? And I've not seen him for months. So he's dead to me. He just doesn't exist in the world. He's not. What more can we say? It's a prick.
Most recent comment on the comment.
Someone just wants to see the video.
Should we just play it? Okay, here you go, Phil.
Fly, Eagles fly on our way to victory.
Never ever get bored of that. Never.
God, Matt. So you came into the weekend just free of not having to care about any game that was on.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy? Who stood out to you?
I'm trying to pick someone that isn't obvious, really, but you can't look much past Chandler Jones, really. I don't think. Like you said, 5 sacks is rare in a game. So
those 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but it's Winston, so
it didn't happen.
Yeah, we're living in some sort of weird universe here, aren't we? Where Jameis Winston scored 5 touchdowns and less than 200 yards. I don't know. I'll probably give it to the Saints overall, to be honest. I know Rodgers was poor, but the Saints were pretty good. So I'll just give it a standout performance to the Saints. Like I said earlier, the Browns shot themselves when it mattered, but Chiefs are going to chief, aren't they? So I thought the Thursday night game was decent. Really good game for game 1 of the season. Right down to the end as well, wasn't it?
I couldn't think of anything worse than watching that. 2 of the shittest teams known to man. I haven't watched an ounce of it.
It was a good game. It was a good game.
Crazy
performing well when I've got a quarterback who can't fucking think for more than 3 seconds. Like, I can't live with it.
Well, funny you said Dak Prescott currently leads in passer rating and yards at this moment in time. Not passer rating, sorry. Passer rating goes to Bones' favourite, Stafford, after the performance by the Rams.
Yeah,
Matt Stafford came out with a near perfect game.
Yeah.
20 for 24, was he, or something? 3 touchdowns.
I think we need to mention the Eagles. I know James has put it there, but they're good. I mean, the Falcons.
Fly, Eagles fly on our way to victory.
I thought we were going to go.
It's episode 2. I can play it twice.
Okay. I can't wait to game week 20.
They ain't making it. We're not going to talk about me game week 20.
It's just pretty good. 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's pretty decent. The Falcons are piss poor. Bills is an interesting one.
They sort
everybody thought,
didn't they?
Yeah, against the Steelers. I did say the pressure's on Josh Allen, and he's so far not. Well, he didn't do a lot yesterday. Other than that, I don't think.
Who said Bills were going to win the Super Bowl?
Not me.
Neil Reynolds did.
Did he?
Everyone's a fan of Neil Reynolds.
We've got to talk about Texans beating the Jags, haven't we?
Yeah. Without a proper quarterback.
And Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
28 successful out of 51. 3 interceptions.
Was it in the main group I said that one of the quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks that are drafted early on, always the next big thing.
You said there was one, didn't you?
There's always one that is piss poor. And you look at like when Darnold was JP, when Darnold was drafted, he was like the best quarterback in that draft class, and he was drafted like 3rd or 4th or something. I think Baker went first, didn't he? Darnold's turned out to not be very good. Goff
had a good game against the Jets, though, but it is the Jets.
I had a good game against the Jets. Goff, poor. Carson Wentz, poor. There's always a quarterback that isn't living up to the hype, and I think I said in the group that it would be amazing if it was Trevor Lawrence. And so far, 3 interceptions. 3 touchdowns is good, but not 3 interceptions, Trevor. Get your haircut. Stop trying to be the guy from the Titans.
Did you see? Did you see it on? They were saying it's his first ever regular season game he's ever lost in professional football. He never lost a game in the regular season in high school or college. Get drafted to the Jags, you're going to lose a lot more.
I think, was it Mark? Mark said the Jags might have the number 1 pick again.
And go for a running back.
You just don't want that, do you?
Didn't he get a running back, actually? He had 2 picks.
He was injured.
Yeah.
But they only had... They hardly rushed. I was just having a look then. They had 15 rushing attempts, and then 16 if you include one by Trevor Lawrence. So like 50, and it was a 2-yard loss, and then 51 passing attempts. Like, I don't know.
It's a lot to put on a brand new quarterback. 51 attempts.
Yeah, and I imagine most of it is because obviously Texans took the lead. You sort of chasing the game, aren't you? So you start going wild. But yeah, it's interesting. A bit of adversity for him to have to come back to.
So we've talked about Trevor Lawrence. Who would you say was the best rookie performance of the day? Jamar Chase over 100 yards for the Bengals.
Yeah, probably.
Devonta Smith got a touchdown. Jalen Waddle got a touchdown. Zach
Trey
Wilson threw a couple. Trey Lance, 1 throw, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
He only had 1 throw, didn't he?
Gotta go for him, hasn't it?
It was a touchdown.
100% completion record on your first game.
And a touchdown.
And a 100% TD record. Yeah. Done. Winner. Rookie of the year. Trey Arians.
It'll be Trevor still.
Yeah, it will. You're right.
The NFL works.
Yeah, it will.
Thought Russell Wilson was good. I know you're not a fan, Sam, but I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was. I watched quite a bit of the Seahawks game, to be fair. And they played well. Their defense was good as well.
Tyler Lockett was on fire.
Yeah, that first touchdown he caught, his adjustment was mental. I think George said he lost it in the air, which is fair enough, but he made up for it. I think it was just a shit throw by Wilson because he's wank. But no, yeah, they did well. I don't know. The biggest shocks is probably it's between 3. You've got Texans. I just didn't think Texans were going to get a win at all. But then again, they only played the Jags. Not as much of a shock. Cards over Titans, and obviously Saints over Green Bay are the 2. And you probably have to put it Saints over Green Bay because there's been a lot of questions about the Saints, what they're going to be this year, especially with having that plane crash as their quarterback. And they've done
Winston Airlines.
They destroyed.
Taking it all the way to comeback player of the year.
He played last year.
What was it? JP said, "What, coming back from being shit?"
Yeah.
Week 1 player of the week. Calling it now. When they announce it on Wednesday, Winston will be it.
I think Murray might get it. Winston.
Yeah,
Winston only threw less than 200 yards. I'm not being funny. There was no difficulty in that.
Still got 5 touchdowns and no interceptions, which apparently is hard for Winston to do.
Yeah.
I thought it's a challenge for him.
When it is when 2 of your
Genesis.
touchdowns are little shovel passes, aren't they? Like, yeah, please take this away and run it in.
Got to
As
still
Max
keep hold of
says,
the ball and not fumble it.
Can be manipulated to look good.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, I think Murray will get it because of the yards
He
and
was
the rushing touchdown added. Yeah.
So-
they bum him.
Fair enough.
If only he'd have stayed with the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to deal with him. Little prick.
So what about next week? I mean, Matt, like said, you've got Steelers on Sunday at 6 o'clock on a short week. I mean, you've got to preview that game now as well. I mean, 2 previews and 2 reviews next week. What a time to be alive.
Probably won't be here next week. Might end up in the sea. Steelers for... So, I wasn't concerned about the Steelers, but they made pretty light work of the Bills in the second half. And I can't decide if that's because the Bills were average or the Steelers were good. I don't know. It's hard because I don't know how we're going to be.
Yeah.
Not Steelers yet. But I don't know. The pre-season optimism is fully in flow, and we're going to win the Super Bowl. So join us next week when we're 0-2. And
well, I was going to say, like, Ravens.
My pre-season optimism is dead after week 1. Dead. Gone.
Ravens and Stevens were both obviously playoff teams, weren't they? Stevens too.
She's got his phone.
Jesus. Ravens and Steelers were both playoff teams, weren't they? So I mean, it's a pretty difficult start if you think about it, playing against 2 playoff teams. But
yeah,
if you win one of them, will you be happy?
No, I'll be happy for winning.
I want to win both.
Both, yeah. I'd like to think we'd win tonight at home. Finally get some fans in that stadium.
Shit, yeah.
The DJ will be in full force, won't he? In the end zone. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I'd like to think we'd beat both of them, but I could see us losing both just as easily. So I don't know. It's a massive season for the Raiders in terms of Gruden and Mayock. If we don't make the playoffs this year, then they've wasted a lot of time and money and effort to be nowhere. What was the stat last year? There was some was it the Browns were rebuilding at a similar time and they got to the AFC game last year.
Mm-hmm.
We got to 8-8 with more draft capital than the Browns. But I don't know.
So we usually do a prediction. What throw out a prediction, like just some random thing. Like I said, Tom Brady 5 touchdowns.
What am I predicting for the Raiders game?
Go for both. Oh, altogether, what do you think Derek Carr's going to throw? You got 2 games.
It depends on Josh Jacobs because we like to run the ball. If we ain't got Josh Jacobs, we're not going to do that as effectively. So if we don't have Jacobs, and I think we'll lean on Darren Waller quite a lot, which you can do. He's one of the top 3 tight ends in the league. Number 2 for me. But hey ho.
Behind
Kelsey. Said it on the podcast. Not asked. I think he's better than Kittle. JP will disagree, but of course bias comes into it, doesn't it? But he's not even top 5, Gronk. I don't know. If we've got Jacobs, we'll run the ball a lot, I think, and we'll probably use Kenyon Drake quite a lot as well. If we don't have Jacobs, like I said, I think we'll lean on Waller. we've got Brian Edwards, Sammy Ruggs as well. Ruggs needs to step up. I know it's only year 2, but
yeah,
he was a high draft pick. He's a deep threat, isn't he? Gets the burners on and can go. But so it's difficult to call whether Derek Carr will throw a lot or will run a lot tonight. I don't know. If we had Jacobs, I'd say he wouldn't. But I don't know. What I will say is someone will win.
You hope.
You
never know. Go on, Tom. How many is he going to fumble?
My prediction is that Heineken's going to have a worldie of a game.
Perfect passing record.
Yeah.
5 touchdowns, not even a missed pass.
No, my prediction is we're going to score over 20 points.
Okay.
A huge thing for the Giants. I don't think you understand.
Tom's screen did freeze there. I was like, it kept locked on really well.
I was like, I like how you think.
You've got the Andy Reid nonce-tash.
Oh, I went through it, Stu. I couldn't turn up, and it's the first time meeting everyone. I couldn't turn up with the Andy Reid, and Laura despises it, so I had to give it eventually. It'll be back one day.
I just heard
him in the kitchen going, "Fucking won't." And yes, he's in the kitchen where they all belong.
Oh.
I just love the fact as well that you're saying your big prediction would be you get over 20 points.
Here you go. I'll read it out for you now. I was just finding the tweet. So they've been held under 20 points in 6 of their last 7 games, and under 10 points in 3 of their last 5 games. Right. This is points per game under Jason Garrett, starting from first game. 16, 13, 9, 9, 34, which was versus Dallas. So, again, they were shy then. Defense had gone. 20, 21, 23, 23, 27, 19, 17, 7, 6, 13, 23. And then it would have been 7 yesterday when they tweeted that, but obviously we had the garbage time, which was 13 in the end.
So you just love it.
It's a shock if we get over 20 points.
If you let's say you hit 40, your bet might go. Who knows?
The Barts are guns.
If we hit over 40 points, it won't just be a tash. I'll shave my head.
You've heard it here. That is a point. Yeah, where is Elusive Poet? They were revealed. They revealed themselves to us this week. This week.
You go from nonce mustache to revealing themselves.
Yeah, Elusive Poet. Let us know who they were.
And he will stay anonymous forever.
Well, they're not here. I thought
they may well be. They might just be elusive.
Maybe.
Could be writing poetry.
How long do we give it before we let them comment?
Just waiting.
Hopefully, trying to log in quickly.
Yeah, JP's changing the account. But yeah, no, Elusive Poet got in touch to reveal themselves, and they were quite complimentary actually. To be fair, we let Gary reply. Sorry,
yeah. Shouldn't have done that. He'll be very under the patio soon.
We have to know him, so you know. He's bare, he's guns. I'm not saying anything.
A couple of fairy ears.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the football being back last night. I enjoyed not having to pay attention to. I enjoyed not giving a shit, should I say, about the results and things. It was good. It's good to have it back. Really pleased that we haven't lost yet. It's a solid start for us.
Welcome to the club.
Undefeated club. It's the only team that can go from 0-0 to 0-2 in one episode of a podcast.
Could we just talk about it for a moment as well? Because like, if the Raiders win, it's AFC West, isn't it? Sorry.
Yeah.
All won again.
The AFC West will all be on one win, and so are the NFC West after the Rams won in the late night. The West are ruling the world.
But we all know
NFC
the Raiders
and AFC
from California.
West.
Still, the Raiders rule California. Don't even live there anymore. The Raiders still live in California.
I actually can't believe the only team to have won in the East is the Eagles of all teams.
we gave some people some shit in the group, didn't we, about the Eagles? Did a bit of baiting out in there, and then a few was went in. Not like us.
I can't wait for like when the Eagles win it and Phil gets to go to the playoffs and you don't.
We're not going to the playoffs, so simple as that.
Yeah, but is it worse? Is it worse if Phil goes to the playoffs?
I'd be
just
happy
to rub
for
salt in the wound.
I'd be happy for Phil. There's one nonce in the group I won't be happy for. I'd be happy for Phil.
All right, fair enough.
Think of all the stickers we could have got. If you use WhatsApp and you use stickers, piss off. There you go.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
There's my hot take.
I think he definitely does, Baker. But I mean, if you do want to join it, if you want to join the WhatsApp group and you don't want to use stickers, I mean, this is something that now listeners will probably do straight away now just for bants. But you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Third Short Pod. Get at us, DM us, do what you want.
A little mention to somebody new we put in the group. Whenever I put someone in the group, I always do a little intro saying the group's great.
Yes,
everybody's sound, apart from Gaz. Gaz is a knob, right? And I always do that because it's funny. It's become a thing now. But we put a guy on Friday, and he was one of the first ones out of like 10 or 12 that he put in, and he just kept going for Gaz, didn't he?
He was brilliant.
Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he's absolute legend.
Yeah. So yeah, if you just come at us with some Gary insults, it'll be great. You'll get a shout out.
Best one gets called out next week.
Yeah, if Gary could be asked to come on the show, we wouldn't give him the shit we do. But
busy painting, isn't he?
Allegedly.
Unless he's drowning in the sea.
He might well be drowning in the sea. He's a speculative guy. Hopefully, we don't have to make any more announcements.
You need to start actually producing. You need to start pulling your finger out as well. Now, I want a Von Miller sack count. Every week, I want a Von Miller sack count.
So what is he on to?
2.
Right, let me just edit this a minute. There's the F count. Let me just edit it. There you go. I'll change it from the F count to the sack count. Okay, the Von Miller sack count. He's on 2.
By Mark Steele.
There you go.
There we go.
Mark Hart. Talking of sponsors, if you want to sponsor the show, let us know. Because I am after Reese's to come in and give us some stuff.
Fair enough.
Now what you type in?
Nothing, man.
DJ Fumble account. Here it comes. Like
I wasn't actually. I was doing the Jameis Winston count, but maybe I'll do a DJ one next week. Who knows? I'm sure he's definitely going to get one next week. Come on, how many? 2, 3 against Washington. Chase Young gonna absolutely destroy him.
Turnovers or fumbles? I'll go for 2. I'll go for 2 turnovers.
Chase Young to absolutely destroy him.
Well, Chase Young comes off their right, doesn't he? Or does he come off their
Don't
left?
matter. Dan Jones is shit. He'll get caught either way.
I'm just thinking Andrew Thomas will handle him, but if he goes for Matt Peart or Nate Solder,
he did.
It'll be an absolute.
Yeah, Gaz is here.
I like how he just missed.
I think
someone
stole his phone.
Yeah. But it was great to have football back. I'm sure next week is going to be just as great. We've got Giants, Washington, Buccaneers, Falcons, and Raiders versus who?
Steelers.
Cool. So I mean,
what I was going to say before I was forced to shout Steelers, I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh no, if that's it, if you're a regular viewer and you want to come on and be a guest, then let us know, because we are going to start getting guests back on. We've got some contacts that we can lean on to try and get some famous faces on. That's kind of our mission at the moment. Might get Jeff back. I'm sure he'll be coming on the show. And yeah, let us know if you want to come on the show. We've got a few things in the pipeline as well that are being discussed and talked about. That's about it, really. See you later. All the best. God bless.
Okay, bye. But no, make sure to press that follow button, subscribe button on YouTube, so you can get all the videos and stuff. I'm doing a professional bit now, guys. All right.
You've done well.
Make sure you can follow us on Spotify, so you never miss an episode. And we are live every Monday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Periscope / Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you very much. Tom, final word.